Hey fellow pyros, happy 4th of July. Here is my 2019 fireworks stash in its entirety. And we'll get started. So over here, there's a cake by Firehawk called Shockwave. And this is 24 shots. And has some really nice strobe and mine effect. Really pretty cake. I watched the demo when I decided to purchase this, and after I saw that, it's like I had to have it. So there it is. It's not very big, but you know, good things come in small packages. Next up, solid gold, and this is a Hale fireworks product. This has 16 shots, and it alternates between crackle and willow, and then it finishes with, I think, an 8-shot finale. But this cake actually has changed since it originally came out like 9 years ago, and 9 years ago it was basically all willow, but they've added the crackle. I would love to have an old one of these. If you all have one, put a comment down below. I would love to have an opportunity to own one of those. So, and if not, I'd just like to know if anybody still has old stock of this. Next up, this is a favorite of a lot of you guys, and after watching your other stash videos, I decided to pick one up for myself. Last time I used, I think it was Iron Gorilla from Dominator Fireworks, because it had go-getters. Well, this one also has go-getters, and it's got some really cool, I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of like crackling palms, and then they have blue stars, and I just thought it was like a really cool cake, and I just had to have it. So 27 shots, Winda Fireworks. Winda, they make such great products. I mean, I love that company. So let's go on to the next cake. The next cake is Haunted Fish by Dominator Fireworks, and I'm not going to bother to spin this around just because everything's just jammed up in here. Let me see if I can focus. I'm trying. I got a new camera. There, see? And I got some help from Robert Weller over there at Pyro Nation. He uses the same setup, and I'll tell you what, the advice that he gave me was worth its weight in gold. I was having issues with this camera, and I basically went to manual, and ever since I've gone to manual, all my firework videos have been great, and just been able to keep everything in focus, and I've just been really happy. So shout out to Rob. Up here, here's the amazing fountain, and this sucker, I tried to light this off. I think this might be the third show, but the wind just has not been enough, you know, because usually I want to start with a fountain, but the wind, you need some wind because you got to clear out all that smoke, otherwise your fireworks aren't going to show up when you film it. So I really want to try to shoot this off, but dang, just it's never cooperated. You know, you'd expect. I tried to shoot this off last winter, and you'd expect the wind to be pretty decent in the winter, but for some reason the night I shot the show, there was no wind. So such is life. But you know, as a pyro, I mean, we probably watch the weather more than farmers do, and farmers watch the weather a ton. So yeah, I've never done so much weather watching as I have in the past few days trying to get a show off. I mean, I'm actually probably not going to shoot this show until the probably the 7th of July. just because of the forecast. So you just shoot when you can shoot. All right, this next one, Rising Dragon. I'm really excited to have this one. This is from Pyro Planet. It's got 30 shots, and this one has those has the whirling effect. Might also know it as turbillions, but anyways, these whirls break off into red strobing horsetails, and this is the only cake that I've found that has that effect. So very unique, really cool, adds a lot of variety to the show, so I love it. Also, just to back up a little bit, you know, shot count on the Haunted Fish was 38 shots, and it's also a long duration, like 1 minute cake. All right, so now we're gonna go back here. Next cake, Sky Comet, Pyro Planet. You guys know I love this cake. 16 shots, and this is the only cake that has this effect. And again, I go for variety. I don't want to bore my spectators to death, so I pick a lot of very different, unique effects to keep everybody's interest. So the next cake, Medalist by Brothers, 30 shots, awesome cake. Can't really say enough good things about this cake. And actually, I've only seen videos of this. I've never shot it, but this will be my first time shooting it, but I really needed a nice strobe segment, and this one fit the bill. So I also did think about, I think it's 10 Million Fireflies by Pyro Predator, and I went with this one, but I think next time I'm going to get 10 Million Fireflies, just because I haven't shot it yet. But I've seen a lot of videos on it, and that's definitely on my radar. So next up, we have Cherry Drop by Red Rhino. This is a classic. Everyone's probably shot this off except for me, and it's my turn now. But this has beautiful red strobed red dahlia. It's just red, and it's quick. But the red in this cake, there's no other cake like this. So I needed a red segment. I've been trying to do color segments in the show, so that's why I decided that, and that's why I chose Purple Storm, because I wanted a purple segment in the show. So this is 25 shots as well. Dominator fireworks, and it's got a mix of effects. So you've got, I think there's some strobe and some maybe some peonies and comets, so it's got a nice variety to it. Next up, the Fireworker, and this cake, let's see if I can get it to focus. There's a glare on it. There, it's pretty good. But 45 shots. This has a really cool, has a bunch of I don't know what you call them, comets, I guess. They're like kind of something you'd see on a large fan cake. But then it has crossettes, and I love crossettes, so that's what really sold me on this one. I know there's a lot of cakes this year that have crossettes on them. It was kind of like, I don't know, the effect of the year, but adding crossettes, and also I think Falling Leaves was also another one I saw kind of a little bit more than I used to. So I'm glad to see those effects. Like I said, it adds variety to the show, and those effects have been missing from cakes the past few years. Next up, we have the honeypot, and this is from Golden Bear. Let's see if we can get this. There we go, golden. It's a little bit of a glare there. Let's see the Golden Bear and all his ferocity. And so you better not steal his honey. But honeypot, that cake is amazing. It's too bad it goes really quick, but if you've never bought this cake, you gotta have it. I mean, it's just beautiful. If you love gold, there's other color in it too. I mean, but it's It's a good one. You guys got to check it out. And it's also pretty large. I mean, when you look at that compared to the Fireworker, you can see it's a lot thicker. It's a big cake. Those are big tubes. So let's go up here. Okay, Hawaii Dream. This was the only cake that did not go off on my winter solstice fireworks show, and it was my fault. I pyro poked the cake, and I did not have enough depth when I put in the igniter, and so that was my fault. I went and looked at it. I was like, oh, the igniter went off, and so I went ahead and poked into it and saw, oh man, I didn't go far enough in. So anyway, here it is again. Beautiful palm trees. Can't wait to see those. They're really nice comets that make up the stock of the palm tree. Cool cake, 24 shots. Winda is awesome. All right. So I usually shoot a cake with a lace effect. So I have shot Lace Impulse by Winda Fireworks. Great cake, hard hitting. I've shot Desert Rose by Magnus Fireworks. Great cake, hard hitting. I'm expecting the same thing here from Dominator with Silky Sweet. And yeah, I just love the lace effect. It's just so cool. Let's see if I get that there. Let's see all the stats. Pause it. Check out all the effects. Okay, on to Flippin' the Bird. So this is by Supreme Fireworks. Flippin' the Bird. I wanted some nice comments for the show, and this filled the bill. Bird, bill, get it? All right. So anyway, 45 shots. I think it's maybe 7 volleys of 5, something like that. But really cool cake. If you need some comments, this will do it. Next up, The Most Wanted, Winda Fireworks. I've shot this before. I got it again. The last show I couldn't really see it very well due to lots of smog, smoke, whatever you want to call it. And so it just didn't really show up well. And I had a chance to get one of these really cheap, so I picked it up. So 32 shots, and hopefully this time I get to thoroughly enjoy it. And it's a big cake too. It's a big fan cake. So got nice mines, really nice colors, got some strobe. So up here, boy, there's a serious glare on this thing. There we go. Pull the trigger. So you can see the guys from Duck Dynasty. And sometimes when I watch that show, I feel my IQ drop. But anyways, I do like the show. It's good family values. And I don't know. It makes me laugh. But so this is some good red, white, and blue. There's also, I believe, some ghost jellyfish mine effect in there. But cool cake. Duck Commander. Had to have it. So here it is. Next up, we've got Sunshine State, Winda Fireworks. I wanted to have an orange segment, and this had orange. There's not a whole lot of cakes that have orange in it. I know there's one that has Agent Orange, and I think it's maybe by Asia Pyro, something like that. But there's just really not a lot of cakes that feature orange. So, and I've never shot this one. Had to have that one. And down here we have Midnight Toker from Black Cat. The thing that made me really want this cake is the awesome green mines and the gold color. Nice breaks. It's really quick, and I don't know. I wanted a green segment, and this is what I chose. So I got this for a good price, and that kind of sealed the deal. I also thought about, there's a cake called Green by World Class, but this one I thought was a lot cooler, so chose that one. Down here, can't tell, but this one is called Black Magic, and it's got a witch on the front of the box, and it has 27 shots, powder keg fireworks. And the coolest thing, I mean, it's got some strobe, which I really love. I love the strobe effect. But the pacing of the cake, I mean, you'd think this cake, I mean, it just keeps going on. You think it's going to end, and it doesn't. It just keeps going, and it's just it's a crowd pleaser. Up here, have Honey Badger Don't Care. This has been around for a very long time, from World Class, 7 shots. I have never shot it, and got some red and green and strobe. Hits hard. So, you know, if you're on a budget, I mean, this is a great cake to add to your show, and it's got some good punch to it. All right, down here, I've only had a few cakes here from Miracle Fireworks, but this one was one of the staff favorites, and has 36 shots. And let me tell you, this cake, I mean, it has some beautiful colors, beautiful minds to break. Watch the video. I can't really describe it and do it any justice, but this cake is gorgeous. So I can see why it was a staff favorite there at Schneider Fireworks. Okay. Whiskey Tango. This is from Big Fireworks. This is a classic. The reason why I got this cake is because I wanted a blue segment. This has lots of blue in it, so there you go. It's got nice 2-inch tubes, 10 shots. Hard hitter, just like the one below this. Super Stunt. I lit this off for the first time on my fireworks show over the winter, and this cake was, I felt like this was like shooting off canister shells, because the breaks were that huge, and good canister shells. And of course it has 12 shots with 3-shot finale, but man, this cake was impressive. I can see why people have bought this many times over the year. Up here I have Bite Your Tushy. I got this because I wanted something with whistle, and here, let's focus. Let's see, I'm practicing using my, there we go, using my manual skills here rather than using auto. But yeah, it's pretty low lighting here, you can't really tell, but this camera is so awesome. It has a huge sensor on it, and also the lens is very large, so it lets in a lot of light, so it's actually much darker in here than what the screen shows. So I'm super impressed. All right, Bite Your Tushy. The reason why I got this one is because it had whistle effect, and it had some really nice colors, and I kind of felt like it was whimsical, and actually that's what I'm opening my show with. I just kind of wanted to keep it lighthearted and build up from there, so to speak. Now here, this cake, this is from Pyro Predator, an awesome cake called Thunder Road. This is probably, like the one above, it says 500 grams, but to me it's more like 350. Same with Thunder Road. I'm thinking this is 350 or maybe a little bit more, because this sucker melts your face off. And I remember when I lit this off, I did it in the daytime, and this cake, I could feel the concussion when it was going off. So, but anyway, I never really got to see it at night. I've only seen, there was a video by Gravedigger, Missouri, I think is his name, and he's got a night video of this, and it's really awesome. Lots of beautiful colors, crackle, just hits hard. And it's a mold cake too, which is pretty unique. There's not a whole lot of mold cakes. I know There's ones that I can't remember the name brand, but basically it's a lot of cakes that have to do with like medieval times, Merlin, Lord of the Rings, that sort of thing. So that company makes mold cakes as well. And down here have Yikes, World Class, awesome fan cake, 15 shots. A lot of people love that cake. I've never shot it, so I just had to have it in my show. Down here, another product from World Class called Polar Attack. This cake, I believe, has 20 shots, and this has the whirling effect up to breaks and some colored stars. Really hard to find. The bummer thing about this cake is it goes up in a hurry. I think, you know, maybe 18 seconds, I don't know, but it's gone in a hurry. But nonetheless, it's hard to find a cake with this effect. Watch the video, but it just added a lot of variety in my show, and here it is. Down here, this was a cake I had not planned on picking up. This is 4th of July by T-Sky Fireworks. There's 18 shots there, and this one was cool because it had a mix of effects. It had some strobe, it had falling leaves, and it has some crackle, and it's an angled cake. You can't tell unless you look right here. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Oh yeah, panoramic effect. So, but the crackle, and it was really cool because it kind of went like left, right, and after I saw that with the falling leaves, because I love falling leaves, and the strobe, I was just like, oh yeah, this is a really cool cake. T-Sky's doing a lot of really cool things with effects. Kind of reminds me a little bit also of what Zombie brand Fireworks is doing with their crazy mix of effects, like in Horror Show. I mean, who does that? It's awesome cake. I'd love to shoot it. I was gonna pick it up, but I got another cake by them instead, but I'm definitely gonna pick it up in the future. Up here, have breaking news, Dominator Fireworks, 49 shots, and I really love cross sets, and this is all cross sets, so can't go wrong there. But again, this cake goes up in a hurry as well. It's gone in the blink of an eye, so don't look down or anything. Keep your eyes focused. All right, here we go. Legend, Irish Legend here by Brothers Fireworks, 30 shots. I've shot this before, but it's a great filler cake. It's a great, you know, for starting the show off, and it's got a nice 10-shot finale. Good solid 350 gram cake. Down here, Baby Boomers, 16 shots, and this is a lot like Solid Gold. The difference is, instead of the Willow alternating with crackle, this is Brocade that alternates with crackle. So a little bit of difference, but very similar build to the Hale product. Down here, Firefly Brothers Fireworks. Love that wrap. I love the iridescence. It looks so cool. And this is an old one. This is old stock. So I've had this, and I just kept holding on to it, and I haven't shot it. And I felt like this was the right show to do it, so I'm shooting it. And this is all crackle. But the cool thing about it is, after the shot goes up, there's a bunch of crackle, but it's all synced up, so they all crackle at basically the same time and stop. And then another shot, and then that just repeats throughout until there's maybe like I can't remember if there's a 4-shot finale, but really cool with the timing on that. Okay, up here, I've got the mothership flashing fireworks, and the reason I got this, I really wanted, let's see, what was it called? The Orbitron by Grand Patriot. But when I compared the video to this to the one that Just Some Pyro posted, it's like this had a much larger break, and it just much more impressive. So that's why I got that. So shout out to Just Some Pyro. Great videos. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should, because he's hardcore pyro. Down here, it's hard to read because of the glare, but this says Skyfall. This is a window product. It's kind of trippy looking. 25 shots, and the reason I got this is because of the falling leaves. And there, let's kind of read that better. But it also has some strobe in it, so it's not just falling leaves, but really pretty cake. And I thought that was a nice addition. So like I said, I go for variety. Down here, wicked cool. 49 shots, and this cake has predominantly flying fish, and they're different colors. And you know, this cake is very unique. I could not find another cake that had colored flying fish, so this is the only one I know of. If you guys know of another one, leave a comment down below. All right, crowd favorite, Wacky Tabacky, also a favorite of mine. Really huge brocades. I think this is a true 3-inch shell, and beautiful red strobe in the center. Just, yeah, love this cake. It's just killer. Up here, first time shooting this one. Mammoth Ring of Fire, 10 shots, Dominator fireworks. So you can see there's another cake by, I don't remember who it was. But there's another cake called Black Hole Sun. It's the same thing. This was cheaper, so that's why I picked this one up. Otherwise I would have picked up Black Hole Sun. But just awesome rings. You know, it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not they're going to be facing you. They might be facing the wrong way, or they might be horizontal instead of vertical. But you know, you're taking a chance when you get a cake like this, and you're just hoping that some of those turn out. But if you know, if you can get at least half of them to turn out, it's going to look pretty awesome. Okay, next one up is Oculus by Planet X Fireworks. I have not really shot hardly anything from Planet X just because I can't get it in my area. But this cake, lots of really cool colors. I think it's volleys of 6. Goes up in a hurry. It reminds me of a legend cake. I think it's called Neon Galaxy, but very similar. You know, with the 6 shots and multicolor. I think that's a favorite of Cody B Pyrotechnics. So shout out to Cody. If you haven't tried this cake Oculus, you might want to look it up because it's right down your alley. All right, and look who we have here. Dave to Safety. Made it all the way. Display Fireworks 1. Made it all the way out here to Iowa. 54 shots. This is a great cake. Also very cheap. So, you know, if you're only in a budget to get one cake, you get 54 awesome shots. Really, you know, nice price on it, and you can't go wrong. Kind of a mix of effects, mix of colors, but great cake. Tubes, probably 1/2-inch tubes if I had to guess. I'm not really sure, maybe 3/4. But love the video on this. Kind of high shot count, long duration. You know, get your money's worth sort of thing. Okay. Finally got Willows. The past several times I've shot Mother of All Bombs. Loved it. You know, when I shot over the winter, the legs on the Willows went all the way to the ground. So this if this can, I've heard this is even better than that, so if you can beat it, I'm gonna be blown away. But I have a feeling I'm not gonna be disappointed. Okay, here's another classic from Winda, Notorious. 33 shots. I've never shot this one, and this one it says it's really loud. In the videos I've watched, it sounds loud, but you know, the tubes aren't that big. But you know, that doesn't mean anything either. I mean, the tubes aren't that big on Thunder Road, and that thing hits hard for its size. But again, this has crackle, it has whistle, so I suppose that's why they call it loud. But I thought this was a nice filler, and also I needed another whistle cake because you know, I only had Bite Your Tushy, and the 4th of July cake actually has some whistle in it as well. So this is my 3rd whistle cake. So I wanted to make sure that I had my whistle fans covered. And here, Highfalutin, 49 shots. I got this cake once, and I just have to keep getting it because I don't know, it's just something about it. Just love the crackle. The finale's awesome. And the price. Okay, here is my first cake from Zombie brand. And like I said, Zombie is also not a cake that's been in my area. So I was so stoked when I had a chance to get one of these. But this one, oh my gosh, it starts out with these huge blue mine with, it's like gold with blue, and then it has these awesome kind of Nishiki-esque like breaks that go out kind of in a spider type pattern with colored stars on the tips. Really cool cake. I just really like what Zombie brand's doing with their stuff, and like I said, Zombie and T-Sky are, I think, some of the best new brands to hit the market. Okay, Fist Bump, World Class Fireworks. And this is actually, it's a NOAB, but it's a NOAB that has angles to it, so getting a lot of coverage on this one. And this is one my wife actually won from Iowa Fireworks, so we're gonna put it to good use in this show. Excited to see that one. And those, I've seen the videos and it looks pretty cool. All right, so that's that row. Let's go over this way. We'll go left to right. So we got the Big Time Extreme Machine. Again, this is my 4th whistle cake. Had to have some whistle, and also crackle. I was looking for some crackle. And 6 shots. It reminds me of Shotgun Wedding, except this has insane crackle instead of, but it reminds me of, because it's 6 shots at a time and it's whistle, and instead of breaks, it's got the crackle component. World Class, great cake, 36 shots. Down here, Willow Explosion. Dang, this was hard to find. Finally located one of these, and it was the last one, so I feel very grateful to have it. When I went to the Fireworks Superstore in Hannibal, Missouri, they did not have this cake as of yet. I think they have it now, or had it, but anyway, found this locally. Some people helped me out. They're looking at, they have a fireworks store. They were looking at getting into electronic firing, and I went ahead and educated them on how to get started with that. And they recorded me with my presentation, and my I guess my reward was they gave this to me for free. So that was pretty cool. So pyros helping out other pyros. That's what we do. Okay. Next up, Gunsmoke. Had this one, had to find it, found one, and it's beat up, so I got it for a good price. And 27 shots. I had this before and it got soggy last 4th of July because of all the rain. I had to dry it out. It didn't quite work right, but it was still very cool, and I was like, man, I'm gonna pick this up again. So here it is. Beautiful red mines in this. For those of you that like, you know, I think Big T Pyro also said this, but for those of you that like to deconstruct cakes, I mean, this has some awesome red mines and they shoot really high, just like he said, no lie. Down here, Watermelon Moonshine. Always wanted to get this one. It's crazy. I mean, I've seen places charge $50 for this cake, which is outrageous. And yeah, I don't know if you can see here, but well, get it to here, $14.99. So this hits super hard, watermelon red, and it's got silver strobe. So 7 super hard hitting shots. So stoked to shoot this one. Made my first ever trip to Wild Willie's, which is AKA flashing fireworks. And one of their most popular cakes is Mustang Sally. 25 shots, and it has kind of like a, I guess you'd say, willow mine to willow break, and then it also has horsetails, so that alternates with horsetails. So for those of you that love horsetails, this has killer horsetails. So you gotta check it out. And you know, it's hard to find horsetails. I mean, there's a few other cakes. I've shot Thunderbird Flyby, very nice. And the other cake was like Midsummer Dream by Magnus, something like that. I might be wrong on the name, but that had horsetails in it, and that was also cool. But these just, I don't know, these just looked even better. Next up, classic from World Class Fireworks, Asian Sensation, 9 shots, and had to have this one. This has kind of a crackle up to a break, kind of similar break to Super Stunt. Sexy Rider, awesome mix of effects, 9 shots, 2-inch tubes, just like Asian Sensation, but like I said, a little bit different mix of effects than Asian Sensation has. Okay. Down here, another classic, Midnight Sunburn, World Class Fireworks, 12 shots, and this has that cool crackling tail up to break with crackle. If you like crackle, you're gonna love this cake. If you don't, might want to look elsewhere. But you know, again, big 2-inch tubes, 12 shots with the 3-shot finale, just like Super Stunt has with the 12 shots, 3-shot finale. But this one's, you know, got a different mix of effects. Crackling tail and red peony break crackling pistol. Crackling tail and blue peony break crackling pistol. Crackling tail and purple peony to green glittering pistol. Crackling tail and crackling chrysanthemum. Okay, so that completes the body of the show, and the rest of this is just finale stuff. So I've got 3 racks here. You know, the milk crate rack's 25 shots. These are 24. I fused them all so that they all finish at the same time. So some of these racks, you know, like the smaller one have probably the pink fuse, I think, is what I had on the milk crate. And then this one over here is predominantly purple fuse, and then there might be some yellow in there. And this one also is predominantly purple with maybe some yellow fuse. So the purple, just for those of you that don't know, so like pink, that's the perfect fuse. That's 10 seconds a foot generally. You always want to take a piece out, time it, light it up, see what it comes out as. So that way you can do your calculations, and hopefully everything comes out pretty close as you can get it. purple fuse, that's generally about 5 seconds a foot. And then of course yellow is about 2 seconds a foot. So over here we have Star Destroyer. Here we got Lone Wolf and Wings of Fire. Lone Wolf is similar to Humming Snakes by Spirit of 76 Fireworks and Jet Propulsion by Shogun Fireworks. Also, Lone Wolf is from T-Sky, but the price was better, so I got this one. And Wings of Fire, this one has 30 shots of brocade mine to break and has a cake tied to it called Black Label, which is fused into the center rack. Then I have on each side flanking the center channel on the center position of the finale. I have it's going to start out with full auto, which is 200 shots. It's a really cool mine, lots of color. It's just a 200 grammer, but really nice looking. And so that'll start off, and then it'll kick in to the last 20 seconds will kick into guerrilla warfare on either side. And so those two will be going off at the same time that Wings of Fire and the 3 Black Labels. And at the same time, there will be the Lone Wolf and some of this stuff here. I also make labels, so I have all my labels made. I think I have 3 sheets of labels. Let me see if I can get this to focus. This, I'm at my parents', and so trying to get things done, and the printer was running low on ink. So I changed the settings to best, and then I had to put it on color. And so this should be black, but it's not, it's blue. But nonetheless, hey, it printed out. So that's all I really cared. But you want to talk about, I was kind of freaking out thinking I'd have to go to the store. And my parents live in a rural area, so I'd have to travel, 25 minutes or so, just to actually maybe 30 minutes to get to a place where I could actually buy ink. And then it's 30 minutes back, so it's like an hour of wasted time. And I did not want to have to do that, so thankfully I was able to change the settings so that I could get it printed. But usually what I do is I start at Wacky Fireworks, I get my Excel spreadsheet going, then of course I have to add to it because I don't have everything. But then I take that and I do a mail merge, and then I make labels. And so that way, in case I'm getting help, they know where to hook it up. So I take all the help I can get these days. So okay, I'm gonna focus again. I backed up, so there we go. So I'm going to actually back up a little further. There it is. There's the whole thing right there, all the way to there. To all you people out there, hope you have a happy 4th of July, and hopefully pretty soon I'll be posting a video of my fireworks show. So this will be hopefully good enough quality that you can see all the colors. Unlike last year, I had a pretty lousy camera, but this sucker is awesome. I've been super impressed with it, and I can't wait to see how the video for the show turns out. My wife's actually going to be filming it since I'll be firing, and she's flying in from New York, and we'll get here tomorrow. So she'll only have basically a day to spend with learning this camera, but I will just basically give her the meat and potatoes and tell her everything that I've learned so she can do a good job filming the show. But I know it's going to be difficult just because I have a lot of shots that vary, high and low, so she's going to have to be going a lot of up and down. but want to try to get some good tight shots in there so you guys can enjoy it in all of its glory. Alright guys, this is 5150 Pyrotechnics signing off. Take care.